Freedom in 1 minute. Hi, brothers and sisters. Which is the most important knowledge sought by each human being in this world? Perhaps people like you may have the answer. It is about one's own identity. I don't know who am I, from where I came into existence, and where I will go after death. Let me introduce myself. My name is Red Naimer. I am one among you. You must be wondering what is brewing in my mind. Friends, I am here not for any lecture or advice. We have heard so many lectures on so many topics. Lectures and advices are boring. Nobody does anything without any benefit. Yes, I am narrating and sharing my life story with the world. We all seek happiness in our lives, which is always eluding us. We have been trying to catch our own shadow, but in vain. As a child, one may find happiness in freedom, running across the road and neglecting the traffic. If the companion does not allow it, the child starts crying. So, while craving happiness, one should not jump into sorrow. This is where you need knowledge. With the right knowledge, one can escape from sorrow. But our experience does not support this. We have acquired an abundance of hereditary knowledge in all fields and continue to do so from the treasure of books and media, but nothing has made us really happy. There are many who always think of committing suicide despite of achieving everything in their life. If they find a key to open the door of happiness, they may think themselves blessed. Please come along. Perhaps I can help you overcome your difficulty. Please hear my story. I don't want anything from you. Absolutely nothing. However, I may get your blessings once you achieve what you are looking for. Please read and listen from the beginning to the end, whenever you are totally free from your worldly burdens. I am a civil engineer, worked with an international construction firm in South Africa for a long period. Hailing from an aristocratic family, I enjoyed my life thoroughly, right from the childhood. I have done my post graduation in Europe. After the demise of my mother at an early age, my father got remarried to an Indian woman and moved to Mumbai. My only sister is happily living with her family in the US. During my college days, I became friendly with a girl who was the last daughter of a well known international business tycoon. Our marriage took place without much hustle. We had a long honeymoon trip around the globe. Both of our families were expecting a child from us. We were reluctant in the initial years. My wife has great concern over losing her physical structure. She was the most attractive woman among her large group of friends. Being a loving husband, I did not think of hurting her feelings. Later, she became a newsreader on a reputed TV channel. She managed to conduct interviews with many eminent politicians, bureaucrats, ambassadors, etc. within a very short time. We met each other only on a few occasions. I was also busy with my projects. As she had contact with the help of various intelligence agencies, top secret files of some Blacklisted countries were shown frequently in her news clips. I was really worried about this. Again, I warned her about the consequences. On an Independence Day, the whole world shivered to hear the news of a terrorist attack on media men who were traveling in a car, which took three innocent persons' lives. Nowadays, such attacks are common and nobody gives them much importance. But for me, it was the end of my life. I lost everything when I knew that one of the victims was my beloved wife. I could not believe it. I became unconscious on hearing the news and was admitted to the hospital. I felt dejected in life. No friends or others were able to bring me to my normal life. I resigned from my job and flew to India as per my father's advice. I was so depressed that one day I took my motorbike, intending to jump down a hill in a deep forest to bid farewell to this vicious world. It was a firm decision. I reached the peak of the hill riding the motorbike at high speed. I closed my eyes. Suddenly, somebody slapped me on my left cheek and I fell. I regained my consciousness only after half an hour when somebody poured water on my head. I found myself lying on the ground. I bruised my knee and shoulders. A bearded man in a saffron orb was looking at me, holding an utensil in his hand. He asked how I was feeling. I shook my head to convey that I am okay. By the time a young lady reached that site carrying some fruits and snacks, she looked at me with bewildered eyes, expressing her anxiety. I found my motorbike lying a few feet away. I felt the smell of petrol. I tried to recollect the event. When I reached that spot, I was sure nobody was present there, and at that speed, nobody can slap me. This made me think that some unearthly force might have been involved in this mystery. I have also another reason to believe when my mind became extremely calm as if nothing has happened. This was the turning point in my life. During my busy life, I never thought of God or religion. For me, such things were imaginary. I met many people around the country carrying superstitious beliefs in their minds. Although I do respect the existing noble spiritual advice of various religions, I am against the worship of some self declared human gods. We need to show affection and compassion towards all living things. I had undertaken a practice to provide one time free food to any poor on Saturdays by sacrificing my dinner. While in school, my immaculate performance in study, sports, and cultural activities caused great concern in the mind of my senior students. Still, I maintained friendly relations with them. The old man arranged a vehicle and took me to their cottage. To my surprise, no one has asked me why I tried to commit suicide. There were several people practicing yoga, and the lady I met was conducting the classes with the help of some male subordinates. The place was located in a remote hill area. Only one residential school existed nearby. Those who were practicing yoga were regular visitors to that place from the nearby large city. During my lunch with the old man and others, I briefed him about my past life and requested him to allow me to stay there for a few days to forget the incidents. They were happy. The name of an old man was Guru Prem Prakash. Everyone addressed him as Guruji. He came from Rishikesh in North India after learning various forms of yogas. He has hundreds of followers practicing Hatha Yoga to achieve greater spiritual experiences. He has established yoga centers in various places. The lady I mentioned earlier was not his daughter. From Guruji, I understood that her parents were Muslims. Her father was a car driver in UAE. Her father and grandfather were arrested against a complaint filed in the court by her own mother for demanding dowry and torture. The accusation was not real, it was a fabricated case. Her mother managed to get a divorce and got married to a man who was 5 years younger than her. Her grandfather was a childhood friend of Guruji. Her grandfather approached Guruji before his arrest and requested him to take care of his granddaughter, who was hardly 5 years old then. Accordingly, Ruhi, the girl, became Guruji's daughter. She studied up to higher secondary. For some time, she stayed along with his father and grandfather after their release from jail. When her father decided to bring home a new bride, she came back to Guruji. While Guruji was leaving Rishikesh, Ruhi insisted that she may be permitted to accompany him. After reaching there, Ruhi finished her graduation staying at the college hostel situated in the nearby city. During this period, she attended meditation classes conducted by an organization headed by women and was actively involved in service to impart godly knowledge to everyone. Later, she expressed her desire to join this organization, where only virgin girls who are pure in thought, word, and deed are given training. She got trained but continued to stay in the camp, helping Guruji in yoga classes. She helped the maid in cooking and took the burden of serving food to all members. Her simplicity, discipline, innocence, and selfless service towards all made the regular visitors wonder if she was an angel. In the ashram, you will find animals and birds living in harmony. The peacocks moved around fearlessly. So did the pigeons and birds. The atmosphere there was mesmerizing and peaceful. I informed my father about my stay without mentioning the accident. I learned from Guruji that on that day, while he was walking near the hill, he heard the sound of a motorbike followed by a loud noise. Hence, he climbed the hill and saw me lying in the mud. I realized that Guruji does not talk much as he is always immersed in thoughts. He had a deep knowledge of Veda, Upanishad, and epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. I heard him briefing his students about the various stages of Kundalini Yoga, etc. He had a habit of smoking hookah in the yoga hall. A metal box was kept for accepting donations, but I transferred a reasonable amount of money from my account to his yoga center. I continued my stay there for many months practicing yoga. During rest time, the disciples of Guruji and Ruhi get themselves engaged in confrontation on spiritual knowledge and exchange diamonds of knowledge. I have also participated in it. The lady has taken an oath to remain pure in her whole life without thinking of marriage, for which she did not get any support from home. Sometimes I used to sit in a corner recollecting the past incidents. One day Ruhi noticed this and approached me with a request that I should accompany her to the meditation center. She said, once I learn proper meditation, all negative thoughts will vanish, which will pave the way to an enriched new life. The next day, she introduced me to a middle aged lady who was the head and in charge of the meditation center. I spent an hour per day, a week at this center and completed the course. From the first day itself, I noticed that the knowledge imparted here was quite different from the traditional beliefs. I felt slowly the truth is being unveiled to me. Every day, my curiosity increased. My mind and intellect found happiness flowing through my veins while meditating. I have been asked to differentiate between the body and the soul. I am not the body, but the body is mine. I am the perceiver feeler entity. My attachment to the body is the root cause of ignorance. The ultimate aim is to remain in self consciousness, which means realizing that I am the soul and the body is only a vehicle with five senses. The body is constituted by five elements: earth, air, fire, water, and sky, and it is perishable, whereas the soul has reached here from elsewhere, which is indestructible. Years went by one after the other. My efforts to merge in deep meditation and remain in consciousness changed me completely. I became a new person after joining this organization. I knew He, the ultimate is behind this, who is making me an instrument in spreading the godly knowledge all over the world. Ruhi's paternal family had been compelling her to start a normal life in their village after marriage, but she did not adhere to this. Guruji has also backed the demand of her family. One day I was sitting at a lonely place watching the waterfall from the hill. To my surprise, Ruhi came near to me and stood there for some time. I looked at her and found a glow in her eyes. She did not utter a single word for minutes, arousing my curiosity. Suddenly, she put a question to me whether I can marry her. I have never thought of such action from her. She sat near me and started speaking in mild voice. I had taken a vow of celibacy long ago. Hence, how can I think of marriage? I always considered Ruhi as my own sister. She explained that although she is against marriage, to satisfy everybody, a solution has to be found. As she knew that I am following the noble principles as per godly wisdom, she decided to consult me. She said there are many couples who are members of institution living together after marriage, maintaining celibacy without sacrificing their purity. I knew her sincerity. For me, she is like my own sister from the very day I reached here. Now I have no criminal eye and I see the people only as souls who are actors in the world of drama. I gave my consent and marriage took place and we obtained a certificate. We lived as friends without intimidating one another's affairs at Guruji's place. I knew it would be extremely difficult for any ordinary couple to live under one roof untouched by any bodily attractions. Our life proved that by sacrificing lower vicious feelings, one can regain the true identity. Only a fraction of people in the world knew that this institution is functioning under the guidance of Him, the Ultimate, to spread the message among all humans. This will help them attain freedom from all sorrows and sufferings. The gate to happiness is open to all. Grab this opportunity to avoid regret and disappointment in the future. Given below are a few steps which may help all. Think of yourself as a soul, not the body, seated between the eyebrows and shining like a tiny star. Peace, silence, and purity are your original nature. Your body has a father, so also the soul. The remembrance of him will burn all your past and present sins. A message from him as published by our organization, Prachapita Brahmakumari's Godly University. For the global service is provided as under. I am your spiritual father, my sweetest children, addressing all human beings, irrespective of country, caste, creed, religion, gender, or age. You have all read about me, but now the time has come for me to talk to you directly, to tell you the truth you have been looking for. Before I tell you about myself, let me remind you about yourself. Sweet children, you are not who you think you are. Name, religion, profession, relationship. You are not even the body that you see with your physical eyes. You are a pure being of consciousness, a tiny sparkling star of living energy, which uses the body to play many roles. You are a pure, peaceful, loveful, powerful soul. For many, many births you have called me. You did penance and charity to attain me. My sweet children, now I have come. I am your spiritual father. I come at the end of the Iron Age to re-establish the new world, which you remember as heaven, the golden age. I come only now when the world has come to its lowest stage. Only now do I restore the original state of the world. Those children who follow my Srimad directions would become purified by the yoga with me from their past karma, and hence they will take their next birth in the coming world. Those who will not follow the Srimad will have to stay in the soul world while they will not come in Satyuk heaven. Our story. Before coming into this world, you all lived in your home, the soul world, a land of complete silence and purity. But you, my sweet children, had to play your role on this earth, for which you left your home and came into this world. When you first came to this world, you were complete, perfect, and divine. Each one of you had a perfect physical costume, body, to wear, and this world was perfect. A world of divinity, love, and prosperity, known as the paradise, heaven, Swarg, Jannat, Bahis, garden of Allah. When your body would get old, you would just change and wear a new physical costume and continue to enjoy your play in this eternal drama. Over time, more and more children from the soul world joined you in this world. You all were enjoying this world of happiness called the Golden Age, Satyuga, and the Silver Age, Treta Yuga. This world which you still remember as heaven. I hope those who think of committing suicide will refrain from it after reading this story. Our life, especially at the fag end of Kali Yuga, is very precious to us because the Creator is here and the opportunity to grab your fortune for 21 births is open to all. Realize your real identity as a soul in 1 minute and escape from body consciousness. Om Shanti.